The Soundtrack of Rose by Knight's Realm. Chapter 3. Still trapped in the cellar for an unknown incident, the young girl is now visibly around the age of 9 or 10. Her long curly blonde hair and blue eyes are all that remained of her youth, as well as the bruises, which are ever more visible on her thin frame that her summer dress can barely contain. Only this time, after years of abuse, the pain and fear she's held within toward her father has now turned to anger. In a moment of defiance, the young girl rises to her feet, marches up the cellar steps to the door, and begins to bang on it with force. "Let me out of here! You can't keep me down here forever!" Her screams fall on deaf ears, as she soon realizes no one would hear her cries. She goes back down the steps and looks around for something that can aid her escape. After ravaging the shelves and buckets in the cellar, she turns, red-faced, toward the steps and runs up them at full speed, smashing into the cellar door. The impact cracks the door's old rusted hinge. Noting the results, the girl makes her way back down the steps and prepares to ram the door once more. Bam! This time, the hinges are almost completely destroyed. After several attempts, only one hinge stands in her way. With blood on her right shoulder and bruises on her arm, she catches her breath and braces herself for another attack, not caring what awaits her on the other side. She's had enough. After taking a few deep breaths, she races up the steps once more and crashes into the door, sending the door crashing down against the hallway wall. Like a caged animal, she squeezes through the gap and makes her way down the hallway. Now free, she searches the living room and kitchen for the keys, as she has on many prior occasions. Frustrated, she races up the steps to her father's room where, not surprisingly, she finds her father drunk and passed out next to her mother. Soon enough, reality sets in as she realizes the keys are most likely in his pocket. The young girl walks around to the other side of the bed, where her father lay motionless. Her heart races as she takes a few steps toward him, trying to avoid the screech in the hardwood. She gathers her strength, knowing this is her only chance to escape. She pats his pocket for the keys and slowly slides her hand into his side pocket, with no results. She checks his shirt pockets with the same caution, and the same results. They must be in the pockets on the side facing the middle of the bed. Her only hope is to climb the bed rail and reach over the large man. As she climbs onto bed, her weight makes the bed screech, which causes her to freeze and her mother to shift position. After everything settles, she reaches over the large man to the middle of the bed and pats his pockets until she feels what seems to be a set of keys. With her heart racing to another degree, she slides her hands into the pocket, taking hold of the keys, and ever so slowly pulls them out. She continues to pull out the keys, hoping to avoid sound, when in an instant her foot slips off the edge of the bed, toppling her onto her father, causing her to lose the keys between him and her mother. She quickly drops to the floor, hoping no one awakens. 2 minutes later, after gathering her breath and noticing all is still serene, the girl rises to all fours. Taking a deep breath, she gets to one knee, bringing her eye level to her father who, to her surprise, is staring directly at her. The girl freezes in disbelief. Not knowing what to do, she awaits his wrath, but before she knows it, his eyes blink and close once again. She never felt so close to death in her entire life. She knows her opportunity is getting narrower by the minute. With courage, she climbs the edge of the bed once more, reaches between her parents, and snatches up the keys. Now in her grasp, she dashes for the stairs to the living room. Now tall enough to reach the locks without standing on a chair, she sorts through the keys to figure out which key is which. She finds the fit for lock 1. Click. She searches for the second. Moments later, click. She quickly searches for the third and places it in the hole when, out of the blue, a hand grasps her hand, preventing her from turning the key. She turns around, knowing all too familiar what awaits her, only to realize it's her mother, standing with a stern look in her eyes. "What are you doing? You know if your father catches you, he'll kill you and me." The young girl looks at her mother with a sense of desperation and exhaustion from what she had just endured, blood still covering her body from her recent rampage. Seeing the pain in her daughter's eyes, and being helpless to save her, it was then that Ethel knew it was time for her little girl to go. In that exact moment of revelation, the sound of footsteps could be heard coming from upstairs. "Michael is awake.